A global conflict unfolded in the annals of human history, leaving an indelible mark on nations and shaping the world we know today. But what if I told you that within the chaos of World War II lie battles that not only altered the course of the war, but defined the very essence of humanity's resilience? Today's video will take you on a journey through the crucible of history, delving into the heart of World War II, the deadliest conflict humanity has ever witnessed. From the skies over Britain to the frozen streets of Stalingrad, we'll discover the gripping tales of the battles that not only defined the war, but altered the course of our world. These are the untold stories behind the battles that shaped a generation. Whether you're a history enthusiast or just curious about the pivotal moments that forged the world we live in today, this journey promises to be enlightening and riveting. Stay with us until the end, and you'll gain a profound understanding of the sacrifices, struggles, and triumphs that marked the path to peace in 1945. World War II ignited in Europe on September 1, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, prompting the UK and France to declare war on Germany 2 days later. The Pacific War's origins date back to the Second Sino-Japanese War in 1937, or the Japanese invasion of Manchuria in 1931. A.J.P. Taylor believed these conflicts and Europe's war occurred simultaneously, culminating in World War II in 1941. Some argue the Italian invasion of Abyssinia in 1935 or the battles of Khalkhin Gol between Japan, Mongolia, and the Soviet Union in 1939 marked the war's onset. The Spanish Civil War is also considered a precursor. Whatever it may have been, World War II was undoubtedly the deadliest conflict in history that unfolded on an unimaginable scale, characterized by the first significant use of air power. Despite technological advances, the determination of foot soldiers often proved decisive. Let's explore the monumental battles to get a panoramic view of this historic conflict. In May and June 1940, during the Battle of Dunkirk, British troops found themselves trapped in Dunkirk, northern France, as French resistance crumbled against German forces. In a strategic retreat, 338,000 British Expeditionary Force members were evacuated to Britain in a massive operation involving military and civilian vessels. This maneuver, known as the Miracle at Dunkirk, proved crucial in rallying Allied forces despite being a retreat. Adolf Hitler unexpectedly aided the evacuation by halting Nazi armored forces for 2 days, fearing an Allied counterattack. In late 1940, Britain faced the imminent threat of a German invasion hinging on air superiority. The Battle of Britain, the first significant campaign between opposing air forces, unfolded for 4 months. The German Luftwaffe targeted British airfields, radar stations, and cities. Still, the resilience of the Royal Air Force fighter pilots in Hurricanes and Spitfires thwarted the Luftwaffe's efforts. Heavy casualties forced the Germans to scale down operations, postponing Hitler's invasion plans indefinitely. Contrary to expectations of a trench-style war resembling World War I, the German Blitzkrieg shattered norms in May 1940. Attacking Sedan with Panzer tanks and massed Stuka dive bombers, the Germans swiftly broke through French positions, demoralizing defenders and leading to the fall of France. The surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, despite the U.S. not being at war, propelled the nation into full engagement against the Axis powers. 353 Japanese aircraft struck the Pacific Naval Base, damaging 8 battleships and claiming 2,403 American lives. The attack, later tried as a war crime at the Tokyo trials in 1946, spurred the U.S. to become a decisive adversary in World War II. In January to April 1942, the Battle of Bataan unfolded after the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Japanese forces cornered U.S. and Philippine Commonwealth troops on the Bataan Peninsula in the Philippines. Under President Franklin D. Roosevelt's orders, General Douglas MacArthur escaped to Australia with the promise to return. After a 3-month resistance campaign, 76,000 Allied soldiers were forced to surrender on April 9, 1942, which resulted in the horrific Bataan Death March, which saw prisoners being physically abused and having their lives arbitrarily taken. Remember Bataan became a poignant rallying cry for the U.S. war effort, highlighting the resilience of Allied forces despite the challenges they faced. During the Guadalcanal campaign from August 1942 to February 1943, the Battle of Tulagi and Gavutu-Tenambogo set the stage for the intense island-hopping battles ahead. While Allied forces faced less resistance on nearby Guadalcanal, U.S. troops encountered fierce Japanese opposition on these smaller islands. The Japanese defense, marked by almost suicide-like resistance, hinted at the brutal fighting that would define the Pacific theater. The Battle of Tulagi offered Americans their first taste of this tenacious resistance. The Second Battle of El Alamein in November 1942 ended German Field Marshal Edwin Rommel's offensive in the Western Desert Campaign. The British Eighth Army's hard-fought victory halted Germany's advance into Egypt, shifting the momentum of the North African campaign. Winston Churchill declared, "Before Alamein, we never had a victory. After Alamein, we never had a defeat." After years of setbacks, the battle provided a crucial morale boost for the United Kingdom. The Soviet Union's sacrifice on the Eastern Front was pivotal in securing victory in Europe. Operation Bagration, a major Red Army offensive in the summer of 1944, aimed to avenge losses suffered during Operation Barbarossa. Swift and relentless, the Red Army advanced up to 15 miles a day, gathering 166 divisions on the Belarusian front. Despite substantial casualties, Operation Bagration proved the turning point against Nazi Germany, earning its reputation as the death knell for the Axis power. The Siege of Leningrad, lasting from September 1941 to January 1944, earned the grim title the 900-Day Siege. German and Finnish forces encircled and eventually took control of Leningrad. The Soviet government, anticipating the blockade, had citizens build fortifications, but by November, the city was nearly surrounded. Lasting 872 days, the siege claimed over 650,000 Soviet lives due to starvation, disease, and shelling. The Battle of the Atlantic, spanning from September 1939 to May 1943, showcased the significance of submarine warfare. German U-boat packs aimed to blockade Europe, targeting merchant ships in large convoys protected by destroyers and corvettes. Technological advancements like radar, radio interception, and code breaking played a crucial role, leading to victory over 3,000 sunk merchant ships and nearly 800 U-boats. D-Day in June 1944 marked the largest amphibious operation in history, involving over 5,000 ships landing Allied troops on a heavily defended Normandy coastline. A significant deception operation misled the Germans, resulting in light resistance at 4 landing sites. However, U.S. forces at Omaha Beach faced heavy fire, resulting in 2,000 casualties. Despite challenges, the Allies landed more than 300,000 troops in Normandy within a week, a pivotal moment in the war. After the D-Day invasion in June 1944, the Allies swiftly advanced through France and Belgium. Hitler, seeking to halt their progress, initiated a surprise blitzkrieg in the Ardennes. American forces, despite heavy casualties, resisted tenaciously. The Germans, facing logistical challenges, exhausted their supplies quickly. Although Allied lines bulged, they held firm, and massive reinforcements thwarted the German offensive. With dwindling resources, Germany couldn't mount another attack, leading to the inevitable end of their offensive strategy. The Battle of the Bulge became a turning point as the Allies solidified their position in Western Europe. Moving to April to June 1945, the Battle of Okinawa marked the last major conflict of World War II. As part of Operation Iceberg, Allied forces launched the largest amphibious assault in the Pacific Theater on Okinawa. Fierce fighting, often called a typhoon of steel, ensued for almost 3 months. The sinking of the Japanese battleship Yamato on April 7, 1945, by U.S. carrier-based bombers was a significant moment. Despite the Allied victory, Japan's stubborn resistance led President Harry S. Truman to drop atomic bombs, ultimately ending the war. Following D-Day, the war's exact end date is a matter of historical debate. While the armistice of August 15, 1945, EJ Day, is often considered the conclusion, Japan's formal surrender on September 2, 1945 officially ended the war in Asia. A peace treaty between Japan and the Allies was signed in 1951, and a 1990 treaty facilitated the reunification of East and West Germany, resolving many post-World War II issues. No formal peace treaty was signed between Japan and the Soviet Union. Still, the state of war was terminated by the Soviet-Japanese Joint Declaration of 1956, which also restored full diplomatic relations. These major wars shaped World War II and defined its trajectory. Each battle, campaign, and strategic move played a crucial role in shaping the course of this global conflict. World War II's impact reverberates through history, shaping the post-war geopolitical landscape.